Good afternoon, everyone. This is Christian with PerfectStockAlert.com, a 100% free service for smart investors and traders. Today is Friday, July the 23rd, 2010, and like we do every night, it's time to look at the charts. Going to start looking at the Dow Jones Industrial Average, was up 102 points for the day. This is a 6-month chart. Each candlestick is 1 day. And for the past couple of weeks, we've had the market being driven absolutely by news. Okay, there's different types of news. And today's news was on the Euro bank stress tests, which are absolutely ridiculous by multiple counts. And I'm not just saying that because I'm bearish here. I mean, think about it from a fundamental standpoint. Okay, if the stress tests were designed to test their banks against the concern over their credit crisis, why did they not test it against a default? They didn't test the banks against a default in Greece or a default in Spain or etc. etc. So the entire test was a great big waste of time. Their only purpose was to try to convince people that it was safe to go back into the water. It didn't do it for me. I'll tell you why. In 2009, the U.S. Stress tested 19 banks and found 10 of them that failed. The EU today stress tests 91 banks and found 7 that failed. I don't think so. Okay, that's just absolutely ridiculous. But having said all that, this doesn't actually, my opinion, doesn't actually move the markets. So what we got to do is say, hey, what's going on here? Let me show you. First off, we are in an overall downtrend. That's obvious by the lower lows, okay? But at this moment, we have actually never tested this previous high. That's possible right here, right now, and I'll show you. The chart right here is showing the first up leg, the pullback, and the potential for the second up leg. How do you get the second up leg? Basically, you take this move right here from 9,700 to whatever that is, about 10,400. Do the math and double that from here up. Okay, so that gives you basically a test in the area of this area right here. Okay, fighting with this resistance level here, and that would be an actual test of this high. Okay, which I believe is still absolutely a pointless advance, and I would find opportunities in here to enter a short position, not go long. This long trade here is very dangerous for multiple reasons. First off, the chart is showing you there is not proper growth here. You've got major gaps here. You can't see them on this chart. I'll show it to you on the NASDAQ in a moment. But there's major gaps on these charts, and you'll find them on your individual charts as well. Gaps get filled, okay? That's something to be concerned about. Also, overbought area, okay? You can trade up there for a while like you've done in the past, but the end result will be a move lower. Now remember, let me show you this right quick. The fundamental reason, but back here we were in an uptrend and we bounced up here and we got shot down because of the fundamentals in Europe. They had Greece, Spain, Portugal, Ireland, Italy, etc., etc., Hungary, and so forth and so on. Okay, those problems still exist, 100% so, and are now worse than they were back here. Okay, so the idea that we're now going to rally again from this same point, actually lower, and move all the way up here and break out and consolidate and then it just keep on moving is absolutely absurd in my opinion. That's of course the fundamentals. From the technical standpoint, we see the same thing being signaled. The signals are at lower lows, telling you not to be trying to be a bull here, but try to be a bear, which means when they bounce, you find short opportunities, and that's how you play that game, okay? Even now, when she bounces up here, if she were to make this move, I would be looking for shorts. I would not be trying to trade this to the upside. It's too dangerous, too risky. There's still tons of news that can hit. For example, if you're long right now, and all of a sudden tomorrow, North Korea nuke South Korea, you're going to have a real bad day on Monday, okay? Those are the kinds of things that are out there right now, and I'm not exaggerating, okay? There's also, Moody's came out and said the same thing, that they're looking at potentially downgrading Hungary yet again. That's another problem. There's lots of that stacked out there in favor of bears, and there's nothing out there stacked in favor of bulls coming out to surprise us to the upside. There just isn't any data. So be very cautious if you are a bull, and again, I would be looking for shorts. But right now, I just went through 120 charts, and I found several that were excellent short opportunities, but I've also found several that had more room to move to the upside just based on momentum of this market. So you have to be selective, and one of the key items you can look for, hang on a minute, let's scroll down here and have a look. Okay, note the RSI indicator. This one on the Dow Jones Industrial Average is at 58 0.44. At 70 or higher, it's extremely overbought. The RSI indicator is one of the indicators that I trust above anything else. You'll notice back here it's extremely overbought. All right, at the March 15th line and so forth and so on. Market still went against it, but the end result, you know what happened. Okay, in this case, we're getting up there again. We're at 58.44. You hit the 70 line, and I want to be shorting that all day long. Okay, I've already found several. If you go back and look at yesterday's top pick stock alert, it was already flirting with the 70 line. That's where I want to be hitting them at. Okay, tonight's stock pick is also that exact same situation. That's what you want to be looking for. That's extremely extended. Okay, and those are really good for the short side, which is the side I want to be playing on, and I'll show you why. Scroll back up here. We've talked about this before. We'll go over it again and again and again. The move to the upside is limited because you're going to hit reality. Okay, even if you were to test this area here, you're going to fail. So the move up here failed because of the fundamentals. Now we've gone from a lower point and we're going to try it again. It will fail. Okay, you've already seen it fail once. Don't expect anything different this time. All right, that's my take on it. So knowing that, I can say, all right, the move to the upside is limited. So here to here. Okay, move to the downside, I've already said this is not the true bottom as indicated by this inverted hammer right here. So we know the downside potential is going to be much better. All right, that's the trade I want. All right, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Okay, again, I'd like to point out the obvious here. Gap, major gap, I should say. All right, whenever you see those, they're going to be erased. Every bit of it will be erased. I don't care how high she goes, etc., etc. She will erase all of it. Okay, note that back here had a gap, 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 gap. All got erased. Okay, okay. Now it doesn't mean it has to do it tomorrow, but the main thing is be looking for those sell signals. All right, when they come along, you want to be looking to use those, whether on your individual charts or on your overall market averages as your easy sells. Okay, your major sell signals. It's one of the last signals that we'll ever show. Okay. Also, I'd like to point out you've got a gap here, which we talked about before, and a gap here. Though this one is not confirmed on other charts, so this may be a false gap. This one, as well as this one, definitely is confirmed by every chart you look at. But in any event, the main thing to note here is, though you do have a couple of gaps above you to fill, they don't have to fill immediately. And remember, we have gaps on this chart going all the way back to March of 2009. The same thing on the Dow Jones Industrial Average, the same thing on the S&P. They will fill, plain and simple. Okay, if you've not been to our free website at perfectstockalert.com, it's 100% free. All we ask in return, you refer a friend, and enjoy your weekend. Also, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you very much. God bless. Enjoy the weekend. And let's have a look at our disclaimer. The disclaimer. Read it and weep.